Hey there YouTube, this is Ekdog here. It's Slaying Bodies with Ekdog's Corner, and today we're going to go over all things gaming. Specifically today we're going to go over my Minecraft Minas Tirith, which I have showed you in the past, and today we're going to go over it in more detail. So let's get started. I have done a lot of work. The first striking difference you'll notice is that I have decided upon a resource pack, at least for the moment, that I'm really happy with. It's called Ravan's Realistic 256. I will provide a link for how to get it in the description. For now though, let us do a quick flyover. I figured it'd be more appropriate to have some music playing this time. As well as I have now built an infrastructure for the way I'd like my videos to look, and please let me know if you like it. So this is my Minecraft Minas Tirith. We're going to start from the front gate just like we did last time, but we'll be doing a general flyover instead of a walkthrough. The walkthrough was to show the size and scope of this world. That's no longer the goal. Alright, so for everyone who doesn't watch the first one or doesn't remember, I spawned a super flat world just due to the massive size that I wanted my city to be. I wanted it to be a 1-to-1 scale if at all possible. So quick breakdown. The first thing I built actually to get everything to scale was my front gate. Once I built the front gate, I built the courtyard all the way to the tip of the mountain there. Then I built it up as high as I could go, determined how much space I needed for the Tower of Icthelion that you see in the back there, and then brought it down to that level. So that's how I determined how my city would be sized and scaled. Now this is not a finished product of how it will look. For those of you who aren't aware, this is called the White City, but it's actually never really referenced to that in the books. The front walls are described as a black in color using the same stone that was made to make Osgiliath, where Saruman, you know where Saruman's tower is, so the Tower of Orthanc. So that will eventually be incorporated. Right now this is just the loose infrastructure of my outer wall. The inner walls, however, are the way they're going to be. But let's get started. So as you can see, I have started to put buildings along my first tier, which I don't believe there were many there last time. One of the things I've decided that I'm going to incorporate, since the books aren't super descriptive on what a lot of the world entails, I knew that cities have town squares. Well, my town squares are underground. I apologize for the brightness. I have my brightness settings set up to 1000% so that I can see when I'm working underground without the need for glowstone and torches. So you're going to see the brightest possible version of my world, but it'll also help to show you the world. This side on tier 1 is still very incomplete. It is a work in progress. It will take a long time, especially since I don't have a team that I'm working on this with. This is me, myself, and I. I am doing this completely alone. Not one other person has ever been in my... Well, that's a lie. There have been 2 people in my world just to see it, but no one has ever placed a block other than myself. I have used no editing programs such as MC Edit. I'm not opposed to them. In fact, I have them. But this is my one world I want to be untainted by anything but my own pure creation. The reason I chose creative mode, as I've explained before, is the amount of quartz I wanted to use. I don't think I would get I've used millions and millions of quartz, and I didn't feel like mining all that. If it's even possible to mine that much quartz, plus all the obsidian I needed. There's just a lot of reasons. One of the things I mentioned that I didn't use MC Edit for is the fact that I know some of the communities out there have talked about handmade mountains and how they're a pain in the butt. Well, as much of a pain in the butt as it was, this is a handmade mountain that you're looking at. So let's go do my flyover of tier 1. I think I captured, for a handmade mountain, I think I did a pretty good job. I'm not saying it's the best, but... Alright, so here we are entering tier 2 of the city of Minas Tirith. One of the things I built that I don't know if I showed is this is a little Hobbit themed hotel I made called the Second Breakfast Inn. And I will show you just one of the rooms because they're all identical. It's got a cozy little fireplace, a little lamp you can use, a little bed, a little chair, a little table, and a chest. And then I've got a bathroom at the end. But this is the Second Breakfast Inn. I thought it'd be a neat little touch. Sure, it didn't exist since hobbits probably wouldn't normally venture this far. So here we are flying through the second tier of my city of Minas Tirith. The first thing you'll notice about this Revan's Realistic 256 is how strikingly, when you get close to these blocks, there is texture there. You know, it looks really good. So I like it. Now there are other texture packs I have used. This is the one I like the most. The only thing about it I don't like is when you use the fencing, it looks like chain link fence, and I didn't like that because I've used a lot of that to incorporate my chandeliers. So I'm sure you know that this is going to be the second tier underground city square. I'm really proud of the way this came out. This was a lot of designing, a lot of work. And each tier, obviously, other than the 7th tier, has its own. And for obvious reasons, they get smaller as they go up because I have less space and there's going to be less people in each tier. So here we are, finishing the tier 2 flyover. Now all my buildings right now are undecorated. They all plan to be decorated, but since I don't have a team helping me with this. I am alone, so I have to do all of this on my own. I am trying to reach out to MC Middle Earth and see if I can be a member and possibly a designer. I have seen their Minas Tirith, and I will say it's the first Minecraft Minas Tirith I've seen other than my own that I really liked. And I've seen a lot of them and they are all impressive in their own right. But the reason I set out on this project is because the ones I downloaded to me weren't epic enough. Since MC Minecraft doesn't make their maps available for download, I would really much like to explore their world because just last night, in fact, I watched their Return of the King special. That's almost an hour long. Very, very good. I like their Minas Tirith. It is very homely, and that's how I plan mine to be once it's all finished. Right now, I'm still working on the bare bones loose structure. Since I didn't show it on the first floor, I'll go ahead and show you quick now. The way this is working with these town squares, oh, that one's not. That actually leads somewhere. A lot of these don't lead somewhere right now. They all will eventually lead to stores and homes and various other things. Right now, they are just empty shells of doors that lead to nowhere because all the space is going to be filled with things. Barracks and shops, shelters, all kinds of infrastructure that you'd assume a city would have. So, now all those doors do work. The back doors usually will lead to other main things or escape tunnels, which I will show you later. Alright, so here we are. I think I just flew the wrong way. See that? I get lost in my own city. Because we're on tier 3, so we need to be going this direction. Now, obviously, the mountain is also incomplete because the mountain face is not that smooth. But, again, this is just my... this is my framework, my structure. Once the framework's done, it will be filled with all the little subtle nuances that make it a living, breathing city. All the finer architectural details will be worked out. I'm not saying that I'm not proud with what I have and happy with what I have. I'm just saying that this is just the, this is the framework for what is to come. If I had a community, I would have much more done by this point, if not completely done. I've been working on this for over a year by myself. Not a straight year. There's been periods where I was lazy and or working or in school. So this is the first town square underground that looks strikingly different. It's taller. I kind of like this one. I like them all, but this one's particularly Nice. Now all you're seeing is mainly my main building blocks are pillared quartz, which you see in my hand here. You see my chiseled quartz. You see my block of quartz. Quartz stairs I use for stairs, and obviously roofs of houses, as well as quartz slabs. And then stone was my main mountain thing, and then cobblestone is all my roads are paved in cobblestone. So that's my main things that I've used. There's very little else in this world, except when you get to the certain libraries and town squares and stuff, then I've used different materials to emulate those colors and those patterns. So here we are. Here's one of my little castles that I made. This will be, yeah, just a little place where troops congregate for training and such. Alright. As you can see, as the same in my last video, I've done a little work over here, but my mountain is still unfinished on the right side. We're entering Tier 5 now. Now, if you don't recognize it, it is going to seem a little unrecognizable. This is actually the staircase where the troll comes through, and Gandalf and Pippin are sitting up here in the movie, and Gandalf is referencing to Pippin, you know, what death is like. This is where they were sitting, is roughly right here. I know it's not 100% the same, but that's... Alright, so here we are, pushing through Tier 5. So here's this underground town square, as you can see, much smaller. Whew. So many nooks and crannies. Now this is something I've been working on. The staircase here goes to Tier 6, and this is a little staircase that goes from Tier 6 and will eventually lead, and I believe it already does lead, to the Houses of Healing and the barracks levels that I have up there. Because the Houses of Healing are actually on Tier 6, not Tier 7, but I have access to it from Tier 6 and 7. It seems like it would make sense to me. So we go through Tier 6, we're almost... I'll show you the town square underneath really quick. It's very small. It's almost not a town square, it's just a little room. And I will just show you the other side of Tier 6 really quick. You'll notice most of my changes have been to Tier 1 and the like. One thing I forgot to show you, and I'll show you that later. So there's the end of Tier 6. Now we're going to head to Tier 7, and we're going to see how this whole... it should nail you as you come up the stairs, and there is the White Tree of Gondor, the Tower of Ithilien, and the Citadel. Now this is one of the first things I built, because my city was based around this. My city was going to be completely based around how this turned out. So when you stand at the tip here, you can see my walls. I've decided on a more ovular shape than completely circular. I don't know, it just seemed like more natural to me, more defensible. And you know, people can hate me for that, but I thought I've captured it pretty good. Alright, so we'll go inside of the... Now those are the Houses of Healing over there. Now their main features are down a level, but... Here is the throne room. Sorry for the skippiness. Here's where the king would sit, and there's where Denethor would sit, the steward of the king. I can't not show it because I'm really happy with the way this turned out, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on it, so it'd be weird not to show it. This is my underground palace library. This is where Gandalf would have come to... Look at the books on that. The Ravan's realistic really really does a good job with that. This is where Gandalf would have come to do his research about the One Ring in the Fellowship. And upstairs, this might be completely ridiculous, but this is a grand hall where they'd have banquets and meals. And all the towers, you know, the guards would want to watch the guests so that the king and the steward were not in any danger. You know, we're going to show you one of our little side doors here. Now, one thing that isn't referenced a lot in the movies, and it's for obvious reasons. Alright, you got this network of buildings behind the throne area, where this building is where the steward and his family would live, and this building over here is where the king and his family would live. Now, whether Denethor chose to sleep there or there, we don't know. At least I don't know. And then another thing that appears, I chose that version of the film where it's located because I liked it. This is where the tombs of the kings would be. Now this is the altar where Denethor attempted to burn himself in Faramir, and Gandalf and Pippin came and saved them. Now it seems ridiculous to me that Denethor would run from there all the way to the tip of that and not die, but it made it for a very theatric experience. And that brings us to the tip of my man-made, handmade mountain, with the Beacon of Amandine, which I have lit to show that it's the Beacon of Amandine, and then the back of my mountain, which is completely flat, because I didn't want to continue making more mountain. Alright, so we are going to do a last flyover of the basic parts of the city. There's one thing I want to show you, which is down here, which is I'll drop because it's very far. Alright, took forever to get here. This is actually something that probably is completely not would have been in Minas Tirith, but they're people, so they got a theater here. There's where the VIPs and the employees would sit while they're controlling the lighting. And the lighting would be magical, of course. It wouldn't be electrical. But here's my theater. Alright, so I have spent the last bit of time with you here showing you my Minecraft Minas Tirith. And like I said, hate to brag, but I'm really proud of what I've got. It's been a lot of work. I mean, I have spent so much of my time trying to make this perfect. And I feel like I have done my best to capture the essence, what I feel is Minas Tirith. I mean, it's not an easy feat to do, but when I first discovered Minecraft, this was the first thing I thought to build. I was like, I can build anything I want. And being a fan of Lego sets, it made a lot of sense to me to want to build Minas Tirith. I mean, it's such a grand, epic structure, especially for people who are fans of Lord of the Rings. But this is my Minecraft Minas Tirith. Please let me know what you think. Like it, leave some comments, add me on Facebook, find me on instantdeathsquad.net. Feel more than free to become a member. It is just a gaming community that's got a lot of active members in a lot of different games. There's no pressure to do anything. Subscribe to me on YouTube here at Ekdog's Corner, where we go over all things gaming. I'm going to start becoming more active with my videos. This was made using open broadcast software, which is very good. It's very simple, and simple is sometimes the best. So here we are. I always like looking at my city. I wish the render distance could be infinite so you could just see it, but if you stand over here, you can just see the silhouette of the Tower of Ithilien up there, and it's quite pretty. Well, thank you for spending this time with me. I will keep you updated as I build more. I will be building some episodes that showcase me building various parts of my city. Until then, you have a great day, YouTube. You have been with Ekdog/Slaying Bodies at Ekdog's Corner, where we go over all things gaming. Catch you later, YouTube.